Hello and welcome to Call Talk, a podcast by Coltech. I am Aburengwi Nengobera, and today I'm excited to introduce Mr. Gareth Corbett from Agreenco Environmental Projects. Gareth, welcome to Call Talk. Good morning.
Good morning, Aburengwi. Thank you. Thank you for having me here. So I'm Gareth Corbett from Agreenco Environmental Projects. So I head up what we call the Coalfields Business Unit. Yeah, I've got a background in rehabilitation and biodiversity in the coal sector. And my 2IC, who's unfortunately not here today, has also got that sort of background. So we've taken on-mine experience in the coal sector. Now we've joined Agreenco, and we believe that's a good recipe for success. With Agreenco, we aren't just the run-of-the-mill service provider. At our core, we're a movement participating in sustainability and environmental stewardship. So doing business with Agreenco, not always about the business, the hard business, but we have a customer-obsessed model. So if you would have done business with Agreenco, or you do future business with Agreenco, you would notice that we immerse ourselves in the ownership of the challenge and the problem. We develop solutions that transform our customers' land into thriving ecosystems. And the premise of Agreenco is that we have science-based solutions, science-backed solutions. So at Agreenco, we don't believe in just fixing the land. Central value is creating a sustainable legacy for future generations and making a meaningful impact.
I, for one, am excited to unpack everything that we have prepared today. So again, thank you for coming through. The nice thing with this conversation is I've personally worked with Agreenco. And what I appreciate is when you engage with Agreenco is people who have done this for a long time. It's also an entity that I find goes out to the fields, understand what the client wants, and really get their hands dirty, as opposed to someone who will give you a desktop output. So that's, from my perspective at least, the one thing that I can say with a higher degree of certainty. I am interested, though, in understanding how, in addition to how Agreenco came to be, what was the gap in the market that you saw as Agreenco to say, there's a gap, we believe we can provide the solutions that the industry needs, and then ensuring that you package your solutions as Agreenco?
Agreenco was founded 16 years ago by passionate environmental practitioners who were at the time working in the corporate sector, and had realized the gap in the market. There was a gap in the market for quality, lasting results that were scientifically backed. And one of the founding principles of Agreenco was that in every project, there will be a delivery on quality and sustainability. What would have convinced early clients, and this holds true to today, is that the results are lasting.
I like that. There are different ways you can approach environmental problems. There are nature-based solutions. There are instant solutions. For example, when you have an emergency, you may need to construct something overnight. Whereas I think of nature-based solutions as long-lasting solutions that are one with nature. And over time, ideally, you wouldn't even know, for example, that there was once a mine. But from your point of view, how do you think about these nature-based solutions? How are they different from what you'll get from maybe any other consulting business?
So nature-based solutions it's the philosophy that no two projects, irrespective of size and scale, are identical. And when we say that our solutions and designs are science-backed, we have a tremendously strong technical team that are in-house, and every project is essentially zero-based. So you can do copy-paste, you can put a plaster on a problem. However, the Agreenco approach on every project is to understand the environment, the site conditions, and build upon that, design upon that. No copy-paste.
Okay.
And nothing generic.
Yeah, and I assume, again, with nature-based solutions, there comes a time where walking away does become a viable option. Whereas if you are not focused on nature-based solutions, you then have to service that system indefinitely, which then leads, I would imagine, to increased cost on the part of the client. But maybe, Gareth, let's talk a bit about engineered wetlands and how you, as Agreenco, utilize, in some instances, engineered wetlands to provide solutions, particularly to the coal sector. If you can maybe just take us through first the concept of engineered wetlands, and then we can talk about how those then help serve or provide a service to the coal sector.
Yeah, so over Ringi, we know the pressure on the coal mining companies and offsets and to, the call to action to get going on offsets other than just, design and water use licenses. So we have a turnkey wetland solution in-house, when we say engineered wetlands, that from assessment to design to implementation to aftercare monitoring is done using, in many cases, DongaLock technology, which we've done recently in the industry. We offer it on a turnkey basis where we've got from the specialists that would do the assessments up front, including facilitation of legal and licensing processes. We use a third party to assist with that. But the design is done in-house, the implementation as well, and then as well as the aftercare and maintenance. And that's something that we're particularly passionate about. Most recently, in the coal sector, also outside, has been making use of DongaLock technology, which is extremely effective for whether it's wetland reconstruction or building passive treatment wetlands. And I would really enjoy the opportunity to share some of those stories, possibly at the colloquium with some of the attendees. So if you are at the colloquium, I would say come and have that discussion. We can take you through some pictures and some stories.
Yeah, I must say, so I attended the colloquium 2 years ago, and there was a presentation on the DongaLock, which was really well received, but maybe it gives us again an opportunity now to maybe unpack what the DongaLock technology is, how it works. Again, from an Agreenco perspective, maybe it's a good opportunity for you to share a story where some of your technology has led to great success.
DongaLocks, it's an extruded PVC panel that comes in various sizes. It's design dependent on how the panels will be extruded, but what it is essentially a Lego for wetland construction. And we've used it pretty successfully recently at a coal mine for a passive treatment, where we had to impound water, supersaturate the soil and the ground, and also have and create anaerobic conditions by impounding water back. Not very deep, we're not building dams, you just want to have saturation. And so that was a passive treatment type of approach. We also, in the same time of doing that project, we had one for managing sediment drift in a channelized stream that over time was getting eroded deeper and deeper and deeper, and we had to arrest that erosion and capture the sediments and essentially turn back the clock on the erosion. And so these are the two projects, more recent projects, that would like to have a conversation with some of the attendees at the colloquium.
I mean, I must say, at the colloquium happens on the 28th of May. It will be at our new hotel in Benoni. We're planning to have 10 presentations. So you're looking at 10 insights. You're looking at interacting with hundreds of practitioners from the different companies. We're expecting about 50 companies at least to show up on the day. It does remain the colloquium that is Africa's largest coal-related R&D platform. And I'm mentioning all of those because Agreenco have decided to partner with us as a headline sponsor. We are obviously very excited about that. Coltech does not charge its attendees a fee to attend any of our events. What we rely on are partners such as Agreenco to help us make these events a success. From Agreenco's perspective, Gareth, what is it about the colloquium or Coltech that made you feel like this is the right opportunity for you to partner with Coltech?
We've been involved with Coltech from its earlier years. We've noticed and highly respect the metamorphosis that we've seen happen at Coltech. I think if you just got to look at what you've created under your leadership, the depth within your leadership team, and also what you stand for in the industry. The fact that Coltech over the last 27 years has directed and informed decisions and policy that are shaping the sustainability of this sector is commendable. So we respect and we subscribe to what Coltech stands for. And the reason why we want to be a headline sponsor is we have a story to tell. We have relationships we want to kindle. We want to share our passion. We want our passions to be felt. And that's going to start one conversation at a time.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing what's the latest from Agreenco's perspective. And again, to those who will be in attendance, please go over to Agreenco's stand to get an in-depth perspective on all the nature-based solutions that they advance in their sector. I am wondering, though, from maybe a mine closure perspective, if there's an executive in industry who's now faced with the possibility of mine closure. Say you've got a colliery and in 2 years' time you need to close, or maybe it's 5 or 10 years. What sort of guidance or advice would Agreenco submit or give to that executive?
The industry, they're doing their best. They are trying. It's not perfect. It's getting better, but it's very easy to stand on the outside and find fault with how the mines, for example, are deferring rehabilitation or not getting to rehabilitation backlogs or not being closure ready. It's very easy on the outside to pass judgment. It's not quite so easy. I think we've got to commend them on the time, and resources expended in complying and doing the work. I think for an executive member, the message to them would be, they don't have to do it alone. And this is what I've realized, having now exited the industry and working for Agreenco, is that they don't have to do it alone. There are experts. And I'm not talking about an expert that you invite to the table with a purchase order or a contract. It doesn't need to always just be about business. It can be about partnership. It can be about guidance. It can be about shared ownership. That's not shared ownership. I'm not implying skin in the game. It's very difficult for a consulting, contracting company to share the accountability on liabilities. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that we understand, we feel, and we appreciate the pain points and the challenges that executives have, especially when it comes to closure. And we could sit now for the next hour and discuss all the do's and don'ts. That's not the point. I'm saying share your pain points, share your challenges, invite the right people to the table early enough. Okay? Yeah. What I had noticed is you've got to, in the operational phase, at least test and prove some of the closure objectives. And don't fall for the blue sky silver bullets until they are proven. I'm not saying they don't work. I'm just saying test them, prove them on your site, and do that in the operational phase. And onboard a sustainability partner early. Don't go at it alone. It's not necessary. This path can be. You can share the journey with a sustainability partner.
I suppose one thing that maybe those who are not closely involved with mine closure don't fully appreciate, that closure is a multidisciplinary topic or subject. You've got environmental people, you've got social people, you've got engineers. So to try and do closure on your own is a recipe it's actually a false start. You do need people, whether it's Agreenco or your own people, you do need a multidisciplinary team. So I actually really like the guidance that says you don't have to do it alone. There are people who are, first, they have done it before, maybe they've done it elsewhere, and they're able to bring some of those lessons to your site. I also think, Gareth, given that you're in industry for as long as you were, I think you bring a perspective that is unique in that you were in industry and now you are on the other side of that, providing consulting services to the sector. Are there maybe things that you've picked up now that you're with Agreenco that have either surprised you or things that you were not aware of, that you feel that your unique perspective of having been in industry and now a consultant gives you?
So that's an interesting question. And yes, I've gained perspective. So I'm leading the Coalfields business unit. My support is my regional operations manager, who's also got 18 years on mine rehabilitation and biodiversity experience, and he has the same perspective now that we with the Agreenco, is that we were on the mines, we faced the challenges, we had those difficult conversations when things didn't always go right, we didn't achieve the targets or the rates or whatever it might have been, didn't have the budget to do the work. Now that we're with the Agreenco, we realize the solutions are out there. In some cases, many off-the-shelf solutions are out there that we were not aware of. And we've always prided ourselves as fairly proactive and upfront on what technology is available, what can be done, what can the consultants and contractors offer us, and realize we only knew a fraction of what's out there. And this is why I say don't go at it alone. Onboard a partner early and share your pain. Share the ownership of the pain. Share the ownership of the challenges.
That was a conversation with Gareth Corbett from Agreenco. You will meet them at the colloquium on the 28th of May. As always, I am Aburengwi Nengobera, and we really do appreciate the support that we get not only from you as part of our community, but also from partners such as Agreenco Environmental Projects. This has been Coal Talk. We cannot wait to meet you on the 28th of May. Do continue supporting the coal sector, for when we have a united voice, we can truly make a difference. With that, Gareth, thank you again for coming through.
Thank you, Averengwi.